Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're a true 49ers enthusiast, you know how quickly things can change in the NFL, especially when it comes to injuries and roster moves. And right now, the San Francisco 49ers are facing one of those pivotal moments. It's not just about losing a player, it's about how they respond, how they adapt, and what moves they might make to keep their Super Bowl aspirations alive. And this season, the injury to Nick Bosa has sent shockwaves through the entire league, and especially through the 49ers fanbase. It's no secret that Bosa is not just a key player, he's the heartbeat of that defensive line, a guy who can change the entire outlook of a game with his pass-rushing prowess. So the big question now is, what are the 49ers going to do? San Francisco's general manager, John Lynch, didn't hold back when asked about the potential for a trade before the NFL deadline. He's always straightforward, and this time was no different. Lynch made it clear that the team is always looking, always exploring options to improve the roster, especially when they're faced with a significant injury like losing Bosa for the season. He said, "We're always looking." Prior to Nick getting hurt, that's our job, is to look at the market and see who might become available. That's a candid admission that the 49ers are not sitting idly by. They're actively working the trade market, trying to find that missing piece, that veteran presence that can step in and help them stay competitive in the NFC West and beyond. Now, let's talk specifics. The trade market is always bustling around this time of year, and there are some big names being floated around as potential targets for teams desperate for pass-rushing help. Among those names, you hear about Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals or Bradley Chubb from the Miami Dolphins. Both are talented pass rushers with proven track records, and they could, in theory, make a huge difference for the 49ers. But here's where it gets complicated. The cost to acquire a player of that caliber, especially given their contracts and the draft picks involved, might be a bit prohibitive for Lynch and his front office. The 49ers are known for being smart with their resources, and they may prefer to explore more affordable options rather than breaking the bank for a high-profile trade. And this is where things really get interesting. Instead of going after a marquee name, Lynch might look towards the veteran market for someone who can be a stopgap, someone with experience, leadership, and a decent production rate, but without the sky-high price tag. And here, a name that's quietly gaining attention is Cameron Jordan from the New Orleans Saints. You might not hear his name as often as some of the younger stars, but this guy is an 8-time Pro Bowler, and even at 36 years old, he's still got some gas left in the tank. According to pro football analyst Josh Weil from Pro Football Network, Jordan is a prime candidate for a mid-season trade. Weil specifically pointed out that Jordan could be an ideal target for the 49ers, especially considering the Saints are in rebuild mode and likely won't be contending for a Super Bowl anytime soon. Jordan, who recently celebrated his 36th birthday, has spent his entire career in New Orleans. That means a trade to San Francisco wouldn't be about a long-term investment, but rather a strategic move to help fill the void left by Bosa's injury. What makes Jordan such an appealing option? Well, for starters, despite his age, he still shows flashes of his former dominance. This season alone, he's already registered 5 sacks, which isn't mind-blowing but enough to show he can still contribute meaningfully. The fact that he's an 8-time Pro Bowler speaks volumes about his experience and leadership qualities. The idea is that adding a veteran like him can bring stability and mentorship to a relatively young 49ers defensive front, which currently lacks that seasoned leadership. Plus, his contract situation is manageable. His cap hit is just under $10 million, and with his contract expiring in 2026, the Saints might be willing to move him for a package of late-round draft picks, which the 49ers have plenty of. From the Saints' perspective, trading Jordan would be a smart move. They're in a rebuild phase, And even if they're trying to develop younger players, they're also aware that they can get something valuable in return. A late-round pick or two, maybe a future draft asset, could help them restock their roster, especially as they look ahead to the 2024 and 2025 drafts. For the 49ers, acquiring Jordan isn't about long-term planning, but about immediate impact, adding a steady, proven veteran who can help mitigate the loss of Bosa and keep the team competitive as they push toward the playoffs. It's a classic win-win scenario. The Saints get some draft capital to help with their rebuild, and the 49ers get a player who can step in and make an impact right away. And let's not forget, adding a guy like Jordan could also serve as a morale boost for the entire defense, which has been a cornerstone of the 49ers' success over the past few seasons. His presence could inspire younger players, like Drake Jackson or Clelin Ferrell, to elevate their game, knowing they have a seasoned leader beside them. Looking at the broader picture, the 49ers' season so far has been impressive, but this Bosa injury is a significant hurdle. They're currently sitting comfortably in the playoff picture, but the competition in the NFC is fierce, with teams like Philadelphia, Dallas, and Detroit all vying for top seeds. The defense, which was already elite, now needs to find new ways to generate pressure and disrupt opposing quarterbacks. That's why Lynch's comments about always exploring trade options are so crucial. It's not just about plugging a hole, it's about maintaining that championship-caliber standard. The 49ers have a rich history of making shrewd moves, especially around this time of year. They're no strangers to mid-season trades, and their front office, led by Lynch, has shown a willingness to be aggressive when the stakes are high. The potential acquisition of Jordan or even other veteran pass rushers would be a testament to their commitment to contending this season despite setbacks. It's about resilience, adaptability, and making the most of the window they have with this roster. And it's not just about immediate gains. The 49ers are also thinking long-term, even if it's just for this season. They understand that football is a game of inches, and having that veteran leadership on the field and in the locker room can be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit. Plus, the added pressure on quarterbacks that Jordan can provide, even if it's not at his peak, still adds value to a defense that prides itself on relentless pass rushes and creating turnovers. The NFL trade deadline is just around the corner, and all eyes are on the 49ers' front office. Will they pull the trigger on a deal for a veteran like Jordan, or perhaps make a splash with another name? Whatever happens, fans can be sure that Lynch and his team are doing everything possible to keep this team in the hunt. The goal remains clear: another shot at a Super Bowl, another chance to etch their name into NFL history. And as we watch all these developments unfold, it's fascinating to see how a single injury can ripple through a team's strategy, forcing them to adapt, to be creative, and to seize opportunities when they arise. The 49ers have always been a team that values depth, talent, and leadership, and right now, their front office is showing that they're ready to do whatever it takes to keep that championship window open. Now, I want to remind you guys, the NFL season is unpredictable, and every move counts. The 49ers are demonstrating that they're not going down without a fight, even in the face of adversity. Whether it's through trade, internal development, or a combination of both, they're committed to staying at the top of the NFC and making that deep playoff push that fans crave. And for all of you who have been following this team through thick and thin, you know that this is just another chapter in the story of a franchise that refuses to back down, that keeps fighting, and that always aims for greatness. Remember, the NFL season is a roller coaster, and sometimes, the difference between a good season and a legendary one comes down to how smart and aggressive you are at the trade deadline. The 49ers are poised to make a move, and whether it's Cameron, Jordan, or another veteran, it's clear that Lynch and his staff are leaving no stone unturned. They understand what's at stake and are doing everything possible to ensure that this team remains a serious contender. So, fans, stay tuned, because the next few weeks could be some of the most exciting in recent franchise history. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe acquiring a veteran like Cameron Jordan could be the game changer the team needs to keep their Super Bowl dreams alive? Or do you think they should focus on developing the young guys on the roster? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see how this season unfolds. Keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's see what the 49ers do next.